All right, Riders, lock in. We are previewing the San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. Tonight, we dive into matchups, lines, player props, and more. Let's ride. It's time to pull up a chair and join the Thursday night Jamboree. Gentlemen, can I get a Yahoo?
Yahoo.
How about that? Oh, you guys are the worst. Bring the energy. What is up? Can I get a Yahoo?
There we go.
Oh, this is starting off terribly.
I gave
the
mine.
boo is to us. I'm sorry. That was poorly timed.
I am your host, JJ Wenner, and this is the Rider Dynasty Podcast. With me are my unenthusiastic Jamboree partners, Jameson Hutchison and Joseph Harlow. How are you doing, gentlemen?
I'm good. I'm just a little monotone. That it's not a lack of enthusiasm. I'm just a little monotone.
Just pretend I'm Jeff Jarrett, and I just hit somebody with a guitar. Can I get a Yahoo?
Yahoo! How about that?
Wow, that was much better.
How about
that? Much better.
I about lost my voice for the rest of the show, but it's fine.
All right, I appreciate you.
I appreciate it. So,
wow. Well, before we begin, don't forget to listen to all of our podcasts and watch all of our shows here at Fantasy and Frames. Scan the code, not yet. Just kidding. I don't think we have the code yet. In a few weeks, scan a code and head over to fantasyandframes.com for all the latest articles and rankings covering a wide range of topics in the world of fantasy football, hockey, and some other shenanigans.
Gotta love that. Gentlemen, let's just dive right in. Let's talk about our likes and dislikes from last week. And what is one thing that pleased you and one thing that you find disturbing?
Who do you want to kick off with?
I don't know. J-Mo, you go.
All right. So I really like the big bounce back from Atlanta last week after they got demolished by Bryce Young's 120 passing yards, which was an absolute abomination. I still can't get over that. But
weirdest game of the year.
It got a little dicey with Drake London, but he comes alive with 110 yards and a touchdown. And with somebody who has Ladd McConkey, who drafted Drake London, drafted A.J. Brown, these wide receivers who have not shown up to the dance, it was nice to see this kind of outcome from them. Bijan had 75 yards on the ground and got 106 through the air as a running back. He's going to end up probably being the RB1 at this usage and rate. He's been really good this season. Even Kyle Pitts, I know everybody hates him. 70 yards and a touchdown probably makes him like tight end 2 overall in the week with how tight end landscape goes. So excited to see Atlanta get back into it. Michael Penix was fine. 300-plus yards, 2 touchdowns. And then my dislike for the week, I know the Cleveland Browns are bad. But the skill players that everybody was like, oh, you can get 1 or 2 of them, absolutely none of them have been usable. So Harold Fannin, the greatest tight end of all time coming out of Bowling Green. I mean, better than Rob Gronkowski. 2 targets. Well, that's what everybody. Antonio Gates.
Nobody was saying.
No, the hype for him is.
I'm exaggerating.
After week 1, there were a lot of people putting him as a top 5 dynasty tight end. Week 1.
It's just on. I love him, and I didn't have him in the top 5.
In draft season, he was getting like top 20 NFL pick hype, which was.
I was exaggerating a little bit, but people went way over their skis. Harold Fannin, week 1, blow your fab on, one of the worst offenses in football with David Njoku. But anyways, Fannin, not really being a difference maker. David Njoku was somebody the last couple of years been really good. He's not been good. And Jerry Jeudy, not good. Cedric Tillman wasn't good before he got hurt. Joe Flacco is thrown outside this week 40-plus times a game. You think somebody would benefit? Hell no. And then now we got Dylan Gabriel, who's going across the pond to go face the Minnesota Vikings and Brian Flores. So good luck, pal. I'll be praying for you. But outside of Quinshon Judkins, I mean, absolutely nobody is serviceable right now for Cleveland, which is kind of frustrating. Defense has been really good. Probably would be a much better team if they could just get anything going on offense, and we'll see what Gabriel does. But I don't know. It's just a little frustrating. There's about 10 players on that offense, and none of them have been startable in fantasy.
They have a lot of good IDP plays, including my play of the week at defensive tackle.
Well,
who's that?
That'd be Malik Collins, the good matchup with the injured Vikings offensive line and the disaster master that is Carson Wentz. Sneak peek of my article that I think dropped a little bit ago, /will soon.
Hashtag check out his article. I am interested, JMO, in seeing what Dylan Gabriel does. Because if it's not good, we might see Shador yet this year, which will make I will watch the Browns just to see what the outcome is. Yeah, yes, J-Bo in the back.
Let me say something. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life. All right. I don't know if any of you guys have checked waivers and checked your fantasy football teams, your dynasty teams. Everybody's got an O next to their name.
Yeah.
I really just do not have any extracurricular activity time to dedicate to the Shadur Sanders show. When that, you know what, if you want to put that on during Thanksgiving or Christmas when I'm over at the in-laws and I can get a peek in the background, we'll do that. But can we just not get there yet? Can we leave that week 18, throw them out there when the Browns will be in contention for top 5 quarterback debating if they want to do Shadur, Gabriel, or a new quarterback. I don't know, man. I just got a lot going on. I can't dedicate that kind of time to that right now.
Man, seek help, my friend. So I am loving the ascension of rookie RBs. Now, we all thought the class was deep. And at first, none of us were really happy with what we were seeing. Genty wasn't doing great. Hampton, we thought, was not going to show up. Judkins wasn't signed. But last week, we had 5 rookies post top 12 weeks. Genty, Hampton, Judkins, and Harvey were all early round rookie picks. But to see Woody Marks join them, I have to say, Joe, that warmed my old man's bitter heart. So that is definitely something that I like. My dislike, I was very excited when James Conner went down with an injury.
Not surprised.
That's rude.
Because
yeah.
Not because I don't like him, but because I had a lot of Trey Benson on my rosters. Last week, when Trey Benson was starting, I picked up some Amari DiMercado. He is not an early 1600s European explorer. I was wrong, but I just wanted to be safe. Now Benson is out, and I'm here adding my favorite North Carolina running back, Michael Carter, to back up DiMercado. So can we just find a guy and let him be healthy for at least 3 weeks before we get an injury and sends me back to the waiver wire? My my Scott Fishbowl bench is all IR and outs. And it's starting.
And the bye weeks in there now too.
Yeah. Like Jameson said, I'm not doing great, Jameson. I'm not doing great.
Well, I'm right there with you in Scott Fishbowl. I've got Lamar Jackson decided to quit on me. CD Lamb, he's doing other activities outside of football right now. I started off 4-0. Not going to win a game anytime soon. I mean, is very bare bones. It's very frustrating how quick things gone, and especially with the bye weeks now. The bye weeks is just like the avalanche. You know, you're trying to make it up the hill. You're trying to make it. You're barely surviving. Then the avalanche comes and wipes you away, and you're just there.
Fantasy football is more Sisyphusian than actually getting to the top of the hill, my friend. Just push that rock.
I need an elevator.
An escalator. Unless the UN makes it stop. I will say I am still the top 500. Go ahead.
Hey, do you know how many escalators are in my state of Wyoming?
1.
No, 3.
1, 2, 1 up and 1 down. In a bank in Casper, Wyoming. Only escalator in this state.
Huh.
Is it outlawed?
I like that.
No, the 2 tallest buildings in the states are dorms at the college. So
I was gonna say, is this like the drinking rule in Utah or whatever with the Mormons? Like
no, it's
just can't celebrate fun.
You don't build up because wind.
No. It's above
as Mitch Hedberg once said, escalators can never be out of service. They're just temporarily stairs. All right, Joe, you're up.
Interesting. I've not heard
got a
that.
bunch of young kids.
I was going to go with a stare reference and give you a blank stare. I'm going to pivot a little bit since you already hit on rookies. Omarion Hampton was my original thought there, but we hit on the rookies. I know Bill Barnwell, I think it was, tweeted that this week was the most rushing yards by rookies ever, like just under 800. So that's pretty nifty. I'll pivot to another running back, one I was super high on coming into the year, but a lot of people were not. James Cook has been a top 5, maybe better running back in the league. He has not had a week where he's finished worse than running back 10 this year, fantasy wise. He's bludgeoned the Ravens, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Saints. Geez, he had 21 points last week and was running back 10. So he's averaging, what's he averaging here? 100 yards a game, another 25 receiving yards, over a touchdown a game. 5 touchdowns through 4 weeks is probably not going to sustain. Was the main concern about him going into this season. However, his metrics look really good too. He has tied for the 4th most missed tackles forced. Yards after contact is really good. Yards before contact's good. He's still a very good receiver, and the limited workload he's getting is still just under 20 carries a game, which is a sweet spot for him. That 17 a game with 3-4 targets is a really good spot for him to be in to maximize his efficiency. The Bills, almost at Ravens, the Bills have not had an established wide receiver 1 show up yet. Keon Coleman had a week. Khalil Shakir's had a week. I think, JJ, this was one of your Jamboree breakdowns when they played the Dolphins. But
Yep.
And I know that's something we all worried about coming into the season. I think something no one really thought was that James Cook as a running back was just going to be the number 1 option. That a lot of it's running Josh Allen's legs, and he is one of their more consistent receivers. So, James Cook, you go, man.
Yeah, I had a lot of Ray
people thought
Davis
Zamir White was
shares
better.
counting
That's
on
been
him not
disappointing.
showing up.
Ty Johnson being the clear running back 2 has been really disappointing. I think Davis has only played, 30, 40 snaps this year?
It's been bad. I cut him in most of my leagues.
Yeah. I do think if Cook does miss a game or two, which he will at some point, just that's the way running back goes, I think Johnson will have the same workload he currently has, and Davis will take over the lead role for those couple weeks. It's hard to roster him right now, though.
It is. What was your dislike?
We're just going to go with a theme of the spooky season theme of curses, and the Ravens and Niners. I think those are 2 of the longest injury reports I've ever seen. The Ravens are down Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry's been in a weird funk. Mark Andrews is. Ronnie Stanley's hurt again. Their defense is missing, I think, 8 starters.
Everybody.
Roquan, Matabuke.
Yeah. Teddy Buchanan. I guess that's an IDP pickup, maybe. The Niners aren't much better with Pearsall, Jennings going down. And that's with Ayuk, their number 1 receiver, already being down, and George Kittle, arguably their best player, also already being down. And they're turning to a hobbled McCorkle who's looking like Harley Quinn walking into the stadium today. But their defense as well, with Bosa going down for the year. I think they lost Malik Mustafa going down before the season ended. Before the last season ended. The quietest injury ever. But these teams are just, I don't know what's up with them. CMC is the healthiest person on the 49ers right now.
And that is shocking.
Like, I do think that the Ravens still end up winning the division, but I will not trust the black magic that is the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers combining. I refuse to until they win the division, but this is just, it's yucky right now. Zay Flowers started awesome. It's too much. I'm staying away from those teams fantasy-wise, at least offensively, for a little bit. So
all right. Yeah, I don't blame him. Tonight's game is between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. The Niners are 3-1 after losing to the Jaguars last week in a surprising upset, while the Rams are 3-1 after a 4th quarter comeback against the Colts. Sorry, guys. The weather in LA is perfect because it always is, Jameson.
Yep.
But before we get into the lines and props, Last week, our beloved Jameson staged his comeback. He led our crew with 4 correct, while Joe and I trailed far behind with 3 each. The overall record is now 12 wins for me, 9 for Joe, and 8 for JMO. Anything to say about your comeback, JMO? Have you been hitting the creatine, HGH? What have you been doing?
A little bit of everything. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So start a little slow, but on the comeback now, so everything's just kind of easing into place. So
That's
feeling
what we
pretty
like
good.
to see, buddy. That's what we like to see. Gentlemen, the Rams are giving 8.5 points to the undermanned Niners team with an over-under of 43.5. Jameson, which way are you leaning?
I'm going to take the Rams to win by at least 8.5 points. And then I will also take the under on this. I would not be surprised if the Rams defense scores more than the 49ers offense tonight. That is how brutal the 49ers offense looks with McCorkle and the gang. And then the defense, I don't know. 27-10. I mean, one of those kind of pretty ugly games. So I'll go the Rams here to win big.
Joseph?
I am going to take the under and the Niners for the points. Did my internet just go out? Can you guys still hear me?
No, you're fine. Yep.
Okay, everything rose up on me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to go under and the Niners to keep it closer. I don't have a good reason except for Kyle Shanahan versus Sean McVay and Thursday night. Just weirdness.
Thursday night weirdness. It is. JMO, do you have any prop bets for us?
Yes, I do. So we're going to start with the Rams side. We're going to start with Puka Nacua, sitting at 96.5 receiving yards. Puka is on a historical pace right now. It's, I think OBJ is the other guy who started off his career as hot as Puka Nacua has over the last 3 years, starting out in there.
To interject a bit, there's a lot of discourse I've seen that Puka's wide receiver 1 for Dynasty. Are you guys there?
Yeah, I think it's viable. Just depends on how far. Jamar Chase doesn't look good right now with Joe Burrow out. He's one of those guys that everybody loves. Puka injury stuff always seems like a little bit goofy, but he's gotten better each year, so I definitely think it's viable.
Top 3.
I think he's 3. I'm not willing to quit Nico there, but I think those are my top 4, and then Lamb running that out. But I'm still going to have JJ and Chase over him. There is also the what happens when Matt Stafford retires, which seems to be next year. But I don't think it's a crazy option, but interesting. Good for Puka.
Yep.
Good for Puka.
So,
Sorry.
Nope, you're all good. Joe, we'll just kick it right back to you. 96.5 receiving yards. Do you think that Puka needs it tonight or is going to hit it?
I am going to say no because Diamador Lenore is very good at football. I don't know if he's going to be shadowing, but again, Thursday night weirdness.
JJ, how about you?
I'm also going to go the under. I don't think they need him to have a giant game. I think they're going to be ahead early and just stay ahead and probably just grind it out.
I'll be a little contrarian here, and I will go the over. He has hit that in 3 or 4 games so far this year. So the games have been much more competitive compared to this one, but goofier things have happened. And then on the same side, we got Kyren Williams, 67.5 rush yards. The interesting thing here, I think, for Kyren is he's hit 66 yards twice this year, and then the other 2 games he's hit the over. But Blake Corum, this guy's gotten a lot of run. If they get in a big lead, do they need Kyren Williams? So I'm gonna lean over, and then JJ, how do you feel about Kyren Williams at 67.5 rush yards?
I see what you're saying about getting the backup sometime, right? Getting Corum more into the flow of this game if they do have a lead. But I still think they're going to have Kyren in there to grind out the game with Corum maybe getting more carries. But I think Kyren will be able to get there.
Yep. Joe, how about you?
I'm with JJ on this one again.
All right, so easy enough. The other side of this, not so easy. There is a one-man band in San Francisco that's Christian McCaffrey. So this is going to be the offense. Christian McCaffrey over or under 121 and a half receiving and rushing yards combined. So doing both. I think it's a little interesting. He's hit this a couple times already, but going up against the Rams defensive line, that is very good. Everybody knows the ball's going to Christian McCaffrey, so I'm going to hit the under here. Joe, how do you feel about CMC? You think he can get the offense to 121 yards?
I think he's going to have to. And this is just kind of one of those that the Rams D line isn't great against the run, but they're so lethal getting to the passer that it may not matter. So I'm going to go under as well. Just that's a very big number.
I bet you, JJ.
I'm going over. He's the only game in town, isn't he? What else?
He is, but it's like playing poker and somebody already knows your cards. Just the way that I'm going about it.
I don't think his receiving is going to be anything to write home about, but I'm sorry, his rushing. But I think his receiving is going to get them where they need to be.
He has
if that
more
pass
receiving
rush,
yards than rushing this year.
Yeah, he's going to catch a lot of dump offs.
He's probably going to get 11 or 12 of them, to be quite honest with you. That's what he's been. That's what he's been getting. It's not been the most efficient portion of the program, but I mean the volume there is just kind of unreal for Christian McCaffrey after the injury this past season. And then last one, this is the only other thing I can dig up because I don't know if you guys even know who is starting at wide receiver for the 49ers, but it's not great.
Kendrick Bourne. And
awesome.
I don't know who else is starting.
Probably Sky or DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah. Oh yeah, DeMarcus.
MVS is on their roster.
Who?
Oh yeah,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh yeah, I did. See that.
When did that happen?
And Jake Tongas, however you say it, at tight end, who's done a little bit, but we got McCorkle at a whopping 215 yards. Over or under, Joe? Do you believe in Harley Quinn tonight?
Sure, why not?
All right. JJ?
Yeah, I'm taking the over. I mean, I think 100 of those are going to come right to CMC.
Yeah.
So they're going to be behind, so they're going to be passing.
I'll go over as well, but not by much more than that. So
No.
I wish it was much more exciting to talk about, but I mean, this game on paper before all the injuries looked really nice, but until all the injuries, it kind of blew up. But something that looks much more nice than Thursday Night Football tonight.
I think this is going to be a relatively close game that the Rams are never comfortable with, but it's going to be very ugly. Even if it finishes like a 14-point win, I think it's going to be a slog.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's just Thursday Night Football. I wish they'd kind of get rid of these games, but something that would look a lot prettier than Thursday Night Football is a specialty belt, ring, or trophy from TrophySmack.com. So if you are planning on winning your fantasy football league, if you can get through all the injuries and the bye weeks and stand tall, come the king and queen of your league, make sure to check out TrophySmack.com. Use Fantasy and Frames 10 for 10% off anything they have in stock. So head over there. If you want to be the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be at fantasy football. So that is got to be prettier than this Thursday Night Football game.
Beautiful segue.
Beautiful.
Do what I can. Do what I can.
You do more. You do more than that, my friend. Since this is a Dynasty show, it's in the name, Ride or Dynasty. Every week, we're going to pick either a player or position group that we are watching in tonight's game from the Dynasty perspective. So, who should go? Let's talk about last week. Joe, what did you have last week?
I wanted to see if Byron Murphy second could elevate himself against a good run blocking Cardinals offensive line, see if he could kind of round out his game and blow up and kind of get himself into the upper echelon of D tackles. He did not. He struggled. Overall, the metrics were still fine, but he still has incredible talent, a tier 2 below a Jalen Carter, which is nothing to sneeze at. But right now, he's not quite a top tier defensive lineman. He's not someone you can play in your like sleeper defensive line leagues, but I think he's on his way. I think this time next year we're going to have a guy who you can play if you have even in a 2D line start 2D line league.
Okay, JMO, what were you looking for last week?
Well, I wanted to see Trey Benson's role, but in normal Jameson fashion, I got him killed and sent to IR. So I just wanted to see if I know a lot of people were very excited about Trey Benson this year, especially in the dynasty aspect. Just see if he was worth investing or selling. I didn't necessarily believe in it. It's going to take about a month to figure out if it is when he comes back. We'll see how the Cardinals' offense is. But instead of Trey Benson, you now get the roulette pick of Amari DiMercado, the greatest running back of all time, Michael Carter, and Bam Knight in the backfield, along with Kyler Murray.
Former Jets.
Yeah. So this is Jets heaven over here. So I don't know. I apologize to every Trey Benson.
Is that Zonovan?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
NC State legend.
Oh.
So
nice.
Didn't he have an awesome week 16 one year or something?
I block out most of the Jets games.
That's fair.
Easy enough. JJ, what do you have going last week?
For me, I wanted to know who was the lead back in Seattle. Have they settled on one guy to take the lead? Well, snaps were about equal. Walker had 21 carries and targets, while Charbs had 14. However, Charbs had the TD, so they finished 26th and 27th, respectively, in PPR. So I'm generally comfortable starting them both if needed, especially this week against Tampa, who is allowing the 10th most rush yards per game. But yeah, like most weeks, I don't get a clear answer.
No, it's been very frustrating. Anytime I see Zach Charbonnet in the red zone and it's not Kenneth Walker, I get pissed off. It's at end of the year. It's like, oh, let me load up a little bit on Kenneth Walker. And it's just like, he runs an awesome 10, 15, 20-yard gain. And then the next play, he will run backwards 5 yards. And that's like, oh, that's why Zach Charbonnet's around. So it's just incredibly frustrating football right now. But I think both are viable.
Well, it's like when we talk about players like Najee Harris and why coaches love that kind of player.
Yep.
Because they won't get you the 25-yard run, but they also won't get you that negative 5-yard run.
Yep. Just enough to keep you going.
Just enough. All right,
JMO. Zonovan Knight in 2022 had a 3-game stretch where he averaged 100 yards and 3 catches a game.
And then the Jets cut him?
Probably.
No, then I think he went back to the bench.
Yeah. And then cut him right off of that. Oh,
yeah.
We have a question from Aiden.
Oh.
Aiden is asking, he lost Benson in PPR. Who should he pick up and start as a flex? DiMercado, Ramondre Stevenson, M. Carter, the GOAT, or Wan'Dale Robinson?
Since this is PPR, I think I'm going to lean into Wan'Dale Robinson. DiMercado and Michael Carter might just cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And especially, I know a lot of people got excited outside of James Conner, but the Arizona Cardinals offense kind of stinks. And then Ramondre Stevenson, he's going to be in a 2-3-headed timeshare with Travion Henderson and Antonio Gibson getting some run. But yeah, so Wan'Dale Robinson without Malik Neighbors gets a little more interesting, and a new quarterback in Jackson Dart, who seemed to be okay last week.
He was all right. Sort of like a Tim Tebow.
A little better.
Tiny bit better. Tiny bit. Hot streak. Tim Tebow, by the way. I'm not talking about late career on the Jets, Tim Tebow, who.
Tight end Tim Tebow.
Oh.
Brutal.
Mets legend.
Brutal. I am going Mets with Wan'Dale Robinson as well. Yeah. I think he might get 20 points just in receptions. Trying to get, I don't know. They have to throw it to somebody there between him and Slayton.
If you guys need a running back, do you have a preference between Michael Carter and DiMercado this week? I'm going to guess neither of you have confidence, but
I'm lean Carter.
See, I was going to say the opposite, but I want it to be Carter.
I'm saying Carter. I have zero confidence in that, but
with them playing the Titans, if it was a half decent team, I would be more willing to go with DeMarcado, but I think Carter's gonna. I think even a bad Cardinals offense is gonna be out ahead pretty handily.
Yep.
And I would say second place among that would be Ramondre.
Oh, for sure. If they were playing a team like the Titans or not the Bills, where they're going to need to throw, I would be willing to take Mondre over Robinson, but it's Wandale here.
I will say this. I saw a couple leagues might still have him. Chuba Hubbard's out. Rico Dowdle is on waivers. I don't know if he would be, but just in case, I think he'd be a lot more interesting. Be a lot more interesting than these guys. So, but I think that's about all I got for this one. I'll be praying for you, Aiden. Week 5 times are tough out here. Yeah, times are tough out here.
Speaking of tough times, what are you looking for this week, JMO? And please don't jinx another player.
I'm not. I hope I'm going to put some goodness into the universe. I'm just trying to see Kyron Williams' workload. It's going to be a little different because we think this game's going to be lopsided, but I mean, the volume is still there. I know a lot of people got scared off on Kyron because of the Blake Corum stuff. His volume has been there. The only thing he has not gotten is the touchdowns. He's gotten 1 touchdown this year, and that's the one that kind of screws up the fantasy points because last year, every single week, he'd walk in, have 60, 70, 80 yards and a touchdown. This year, he's just getting 60 yards, and that equals to 6 points if he's not getting any receptions. So that Jarquez Hunter was a guy that they drafted this year. He's been mostly special teams, has not played any, but they seemed excited about him. I'd be curious to see if he ends up getting some work as well. So I know Blake Corum is an elite handcuff, but does this actually turn into a 1-2 punch to where they, I don't want to say equal each other out, but you just don't get the full potential of one? So, I mean, for the last couple of years, Kyron Williams has been an absolute workload, and you haven't had to worry about that. So I'm just kind of interested to see where he is because I almost think he can be a buy low candidate right now where everybody just seems so off on him. It's the year of the running back. It's been the last couple of years. They've just dominated. So that's what I'm looking for.
All right, Joe, what are you looking at?
I'm going to go to IDP again, and it's not a super interesting IDP week. As you can see, Byron Young has been the top edge rusher in the league for fantasy purposes, which is surprising. I think Verse does take over. Honestly, here though, I'm going to go with the Niner side and just see Michael Williams. His usage has been super interesting. I think they have done a good job with that, where it's like a early down edge, kicks inside more as we get to passing downs. Let Bryce Huff, another former Jet, back with another former Jet in Sala. Let them unlock him. So I just kind of want to keep seeing him work, see him grow. Rams offensive line isn't the most dominant unit, but still good enough where it's going to be a good test for Williams. I just kind of want to see what he can do. If he can get into like edge 3, edge 2 territory this year.
Very good. Now, for me, this week, I'm not trying to figure out a position group. Instead, I'm looking directly at CMC. Now, his finishes have been decreasing every game from RB3 in week 1 to RB8 in week 4. But this isn't because his points per game are dropping. It is because the other running backs are starting to pass him, Jameson. But if you had told me in August, if you had walked up to me at the expo and said, hey, JJ, in week 4, Woody Marks, Kenneth Gainwell, and Justice Hill will all outscore CMC, and he was healthy, I might have punched you in the nut. Just one, not both. I'm not that mean to you. But this week, there is no Purdy, Jennings, Kittle, or Pearsall to take any of the defense's attention. I expect him to get close to probably 35 carries / targets. So let's see how it goes for him tonight. Can he be a little bit more explosive?
I know this is kind of a very goofy and off the wall comparison. CMC's been good. Like his efficiency is not obviously, but the workload, he's turned into Tony Pollard on steroids, where Tony Pollard gets 100% of the workload. The only thing is Tony Pollard and the Titans suck so bad it doesn't matter. But CMC, like, I'm trying not to compare him. I know that's probably the stupidest thing ever to say, but his workload has just gotten out of this world to where I mean, I don't know. It's just weird how this has kind of turned out.
It is definitely strange. Well, I have to say that I am a little scared about how my dynasty rosters are turning out. So I am losing, like, Terry McLaurin's out again. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill, right? Going on IR. Is he going to come back? Like, this has just been a tough wide receiver year for me, Joe. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need to draft a wide receiver. Who should I be watching for?
There's a few interesting ones. We do have a question about receivers, which do you want to get to that before or after?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
From Rose Nyland's dad, Bob Hope. Golden Girls reference. Sorry. Adams, I'm assuming Devontae. Or waiting for Myers or Sutton. I would start Devontae here.
I would as well. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers is in a sweet spot. Puka Nacua cooked the secondary for the Colts so bad that Xavier Howard retired this week because he wanted to go spend time with family, which is such a bullshit thing.
I respect the hell out of it, though.
Cortland, I mean, he's bad. I mean, Cortland Sutton doesn't have a great matchup going up against Philadelphia. I don't think so. I think the answer here is Devontae. I wish the game environment was a little better, but the thing with Jacoby Myers is they've lost their only good offensive lineman left tackle this week. He's out on IR. So I'm very worried that Geno will not have any time to even get the ball out. And Geno's been very bad this year. He's been a turnover machine. So I think Devontae Adams would be the play here. They've been trying to target the hell out of him in the red zone too. So you might be able to get one of those receptions they've been trying to hit on.
Yeah, even if all things being equal, I would start Devontae Adams. If Lenore is going to be shutting down or shadowing Nacua, that leaves a lot of opportunity. And we saw even what the Eagles and their terrible passing offense did in the second half of that game. I would assume a competent LA Rams offense can probably do a lot more.
I agree.
So back to your beautiful question, JJ. Yeah, there's a lot of older receivers, a lot of guys going down. We talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, that Jordan Tyson, Arizona State's wide receiver, is pretty much locked in as wide receiver 1. I still think that's true. However, I think wide receiver 2 has also been locked down with zesty little fella and Mekhi Lemon for the USC Trojans. Thank you. Dude is a freaking menace. Right now for PFF, he is the highest graded receiver for their receiving grade. That includes guys with 1 target. And he has, I think, 46, which is top 7 in the nation. So he has efficiency, volume. He's not the biggest guy. He's 5'10", 190 probably, but really good in contested catch range. His yards per route run is 4.5, which I think is the top 20 mark in the nation. Great hands, really strong route runner. It makes a lot of guys miss. He has 13 missed tackles forced on 35 receptions, has almost 600 yards and 5 touchdowns on those 35 receptions. He's been the go-to guy for Jaden Mayava in a pretty feisty USC offense. Defense still sucks down there, but offense is good. He's running a lot out of the slot, but 65% of the time out of the slot. He's going to be a slot mostly player in the league. He's gotten some pretty aggressive comparisons to NFL players, which names of who just totally escaped me, but some higher level guys. I think he could be, the names just escaped, but he's someone who I think is a lock to go in the first round right now, barring an injury or something crazy happening. I think he's wide receiver 2 for sure. I would love to see him end up in a place that needs a volume weapon. So I think top 15 pick in the NFL draft, I think, is absolutely possible. Combined speed, hands, route running. And then I mentioned the contested catches. He has 75% contested catch rate, despite, again, being 5'10", 190. Against Illinois this past weekend, he was dominant. They could not stop him no matter what. Lemon single-handedly brought them back. They were down by a lot to start, but then finished the game with 11 for 151 and 2. Another amazing play, I think a 60-yard flea flicker that he caught, made 6 dudes miss, but got called back because USC had like the center was like 20 yards downfield or something dumb. Something very USC, but he is incredible. He might be my favorite receiver in the class. Yeah, one of those guys to keep an eye on. He and Tyson, I don't think they're not like the Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison level. They might not even be at the Tetaroa McMillan level, but they're pretty darn close to that next tier. I think they're better than like Matthew Golden or the other top receivers, better prospects maybe than even like a Lad McConkey, who was even better than we thought his rookie year, but true first round talent here.
And where is Lad McConkey gone?
It'd be all right.
I think so too. I think Lad is one of the biggest buys in Dynasty right now.
Okay.
But also good for QJ, man. Good for him.
Amen.
Did not like him at all as a prospect, but
somebody bought a jugs machine.
They've used him the way that's best for him. It's given him the confidence. And
crazy what happens when somebody believes in you.
Right?
I believe in you, JMO. So I'm excited for Mekhi Lemon. PFF has him ranked as their number 1 receiver so far. Graded out as their number 1. Even his contested catches are good. 3 for 4 so far.
If you want to, just the Illinois tape it's fun. It's just so fun to watch him. Jade Mayava thinks he's Caleb Williams, so get a lot of those crazy plays. So he's very fun.
Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah,
11 receptions for 151 yards and 2 TDs.
Only reason they had a chance.
All right, gentlemen. I think that's about it. Oh,
yeah.
Too soon.
Good one.
Too soon, Brandon. Brandon, who do you think's going to win? Or do you think the Niners will cover?
I think more than half of them are gone.
Rams.
Okay.
You agree with all of us but Joe.
Watch the Niners win this by like 20 or something crazy.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Mac
I was
Jones
very shocked that
350 are we going to have conversations about him being better than Purdy? I don't think he is, but those would be Twitter would go crazy.
Yeah, Mac Jones is definitely better than Trevor Lawrence.
Amen to that. Trevor Lawrence sucks.
He really does, man.
I'll keep quiet here.
I know you love Lawrence. Man, he was
that's strong.
I have never seen wide open receivers having to jump to catch passes as much as I have seen the Jaguars do it on just a routine pass from Lawrence. Luckily, none of them were like crunched in half by a DB, but man, can you lower your target zone a little bit?
He's just too tall.
Who's too tall?
Lawrence.
Shut up.
We talk about quarterbacks being too short. Do we need to worry about them being too tall?
Maybe he is. How tall is he? 6'6"?
Probably.
Phil Rivers 6'5". He did all right. He did just fine.
Trevor's too tall and skinny. You can't be both.
Peyton Manning's neck was 6'5". He turned out all right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wait, and just for the record, that Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter commercial, have you seen it?
No. I tried it.
It is the absolute worst commercial I've seen. Travis Hunter is trying to be as personable as he can, and Lawrence just looks like a weirdo. He looks like he was created by AI.
Brandon had another question for us here.
Brandon. Oh, do the Arizona Cardinals trade for Dameon Pierce?
I doubt it, but if they did, does it even matter? Outside James Conner, who was getting there on volume, I do not care about anybody.
The only
in this
running back I would want to see Kamara if he gets moved somewhere. Arizona would be annoying, but Arizona always a dream cast. But him to the Chiefs would be amazing.
Arizona needs speed, and that's one thing they don't have.
Yeah,
they have zero of it.
I like Michael Wilson, but he's not what they need.
No. But then again, would a competent. Maybe if Trevor Lawrence went there and Kyler
No.
Murray to the Jags.
No thanks.
Michael Wilson could catch those high balls. All right, gentlemen, it's time to let the good people know where they can find you and anything you've been working on. JMO.
On the Twitter machine at Jameson Rules. If you follow me tonight, you'll probably watch me have a meltdown over the Red Sox while they're facing the Yankees. But outside of that, have the DFS show on my YouTube channel at Jameson Hutchison. Check that out with Joel Worth every Sunday. Been cooking.
Pretty good.
I'm not going to lie. I gave out Ashton Genty this week, so feel pretty good about that. 1 week that he goes off. So DFS every Sunday, Rider Dynasty here every Thursday. So outside of that, give it about an hour. I'll be cussing and saying very bad stuff on the Twitter machine. We'll see how it goes.
It's going to take you an hour to start cussing?
Well, the game starts in it starts in a little while. They got a rookie pitcher, and we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. He's never started on the road. Oh man. Not what.
Oh.
No. Oh.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you.
I don't. It's bad. Then I'm gonna have to be PG about it because people are gonna think differently of me. Because stuff I say in front of my TV, in front of my wife's totally different on Twitter machine. I'm much more calm and calculated. But I said some stuff last night I'm not very proud of, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I woke up and to read a couple of those. I was like, oh.
It's very PG. I used to be a lot worse, and then I don't know. People started following me on Twitter and reading what I had to say, so I was like, I might need to tone it down. I mean, I wasn't. Anyway, moving on. We'll see. Red Sox need to win tonight.
Yeah, yes, they do.
F the Yankees. We'll say it again.
Number one,
you can find me on the interwebs at Jolo63. Every week, I am writing our IDP fades and plays over at Fantasy and Frames. Last week, process hit and crushed it. Players like Tuli Pelotu with 4 sacks. A couple of DBs did well. Linebackers, process is hitting. And yeah, not all going to be hits, but overall, you can at least think my process is pretty good and can follow there for weirdness that is IDP.
I picked Tuli up in the FF7s.
Sweet.
Thank you.
I hope he got you some points.
Well, I picked him up this week.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
this week.
Godspeed.
Oh, wait, what? Is he going to suck this week?
No, but he's not going to get 4 sacks probably.
Oh, well, who can? All right. I'm at JJ Wenner. Thank you to Joe, Jameson, and the crew at Fantasy and Frames. We're back next week to preview the Eagles at the Giants and answer your way too early Star Sit questions at 7 p.m. And as always, love yourself, know your worth. You are enough, JMO. Boat drinks, my friends. Boat drink.